the Premier League. Today, it's a global phenomenon, the most watched football league on the planet. The stars, the goals, the drama, it all seems so natural. But rewind the clock to the early 1990s, and you'll find a very different story. One where English football was on its knees, struggling for survival. So, how did it go from the chaos of the late 1980s to the billion-pound machine we know today? This is the story of how the Premier League was born, and how it changed football forever. In the 1980s, English football was in crisis. Hooliganism ran rampant, stadiums were crumbling, and the country's top clubs were being left behind by Europe's elite. The Haysale disaster in 1985, which saw 39 people lose their lives during a European Cup final between Liverpool and Juventus, resulted in English clubs being banned from Europe for 5 years. The Hillsborough disaster in 1989, which tragically killed 96 Liverpool fans, revealed the outdated state of stadiums and the dangerous conditions in which fans were watching their beloved teams. Football in England was, simply put, at a breaking point. Clubs were in debt, attendances were falling, and the game was losing its appeal to the public. But change was on the horizon. The rise of satellite television in the late 80s and early 90s presented a glimmer of hope. Could football reinvent itself through the power of broadcasting? And more importantly, could the clubs get a bigger slice of the pie? In 1991, the winds of change began to blow. England's biggest clubs were growing increasingly frustrated with the existing football league structure. For decades, all revenue from television deals was shared across the entire football league, including lower divisions. Clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal, and Liverpool believed they should keep a bigger portion of the money generated by TV, as their matches were the main draw for broadcasters. Behind closed doors, representatives from the top clubs began holding secret talks. The idea? To form a new, independent league where they could negotiate their own TV deals and keep a larger share of the profits. It was bold, controversial, and potentially risky. But these clubs were confident that they could create something revolutionary. In July 1991, the Founder Members Agreement was signed by 22 clubs from the First Division, outlining the formation of a new league, the Premier League. It wasn't just about football, it was about business. The Premier League would be run as a corporation, with each club as a shareholder, creating a new level of commercialization in football. One of the biggest factors in the birth of the Premier League was the rise of satellite television. Enter Sky TV, a relatively new player in the broadcasting world at the time. In 1992, Sky saw football as the golden ticket to boost their subscriptions. They made a bold move, offering a staggering £304 million for the exclusive rights to broadcast Premier League matches over 5 years. This deal was unprecedented, and it changed everything. Suddenly, the Premier League had the financial backing it needed to succeed. Sky Sports didn't just show football, they revolutionized how it was presented. Multiple camera angles, Monday Night Football, in-depth analysis. They turned football into a spectacle. Fans could watch more live games than ever before, and clubs could now attract global audiences, especially as foreign players began flocking to the league. The inaugural Premier League season kicked off on the 15th of August 1992. Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and reigning champions Leeds United were among the 22 clubs competing in this new era of English football. The first ever Premier League goal was scored by Sheffield United's Brian Deane in a 2-1 win against Manchester United. But it was United who would go on to dominate the season, winning their first league title in 26 years under Sir Alex Ferguson. The Premier League's early success was undeniable. Attendance began to rise, television ratings soared, and English football was becoming cool again. But it wasn't just about winning, it was about style. Foreign players like Eric Cantona, Dennis Bergkamp, and Gianfranco Zola were lighting up the league with their flair and creativity, raising the standard of play. English football was no longer insular, it had gone global. The birth of the Premier League was just the beginning. Over the years, the league has grown into a global juggernaut. The commercialization of football, the rise of foreign ownership, and the explosion of international audiences have all contributed to its success. Billionaire owners like Roman Abramovich and Sheikh Mansour have pumped billions into their clubs, while lucrative TV deals with broadcasters around the world continue to bring in astronomical sums. Today, the Premier League is broadcast in over 200 countries, attracting millions of viewers every week. Its teams, players, and managers are household names, and the league itself is synonymous with excitement and unpredictability. But it all started with that bold move in 1992, a moment that changed the face of football forever. So, what do you think? Has the birth of the Premier League been good for football? Do you think the commercialization of the game has taken away from its soul? Or has it elevated the sport to new heights? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of the Premier League, make sure to subscribe to DNTV for more football stories, analysis, and insights. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. Football has always been more than just a game. It's a passion, a global language. And as the Premier League continues to evolve, one thing is certain. Its impact on the world of football will never be forgotten. Until next time, keep following the beautiful game.